faithfully conveying values, exploring global literary treasures. Hello, this is Sally's Book Club. Today's featured book is Education of Love, a classic educational read. We all agree that educating children with love is fundamental, but how exactly to implement this? Many adults struggle with practical application. Take discipline, for example. How should adults correct mistakes while maintaining loving connections? How to help children understand errors without breeding resentment? Or when conflicts arise between classmates? How to teach social navigation without enabling bullying? Education of Love provides profound answers. First published in 1886, this multilingual bestseller has endured for over a century. Ranked among Italy's essential novels and deeply influential in American culture, the 1926 Chinese edition features translations by educator Jia Mianzun and artwork by Feng Zikai. Xia confessed this book made him weep like an ugly woman seeing true beauty, confronting his educational shortcomings. He realized schools prioritized form over essence, love being education's lifeblood. Education without affection is like a waterless pond, geometrically perfect yet fundamentally empty, Shaw wrote. Thus, he deemed this essential reading for both children and adults. While we see education as adult to child transmission, children often enlighten adults too. Through a child's perspective, the book reveals mutual understanding between generations. Not just children's literature, but essential adult education in love's fundamentals. The author of this book is Italian writer Edmondo De Amicis, who spent 10 years completing this diary form novel. Protagonist Enrico is a fourth grader in Turin, northern Italy. Enrico comes from a middle-class family. His father works in publishing. His mother volunteers in charities. With an older sister and younger brother, his classmates range from top students to struggling learners, privileged heirs to resilient, underprivileged children. This book chronicles Enrico's academic year through school and life observations. Through Enrico's perspective, the author expounds his understanding of love. These stories remain profoundly relevant even today. Let's explore filial love, teacher-student bonds, peer relationships, and social compassion through key stories that moved Shami and Zoom to tears. First, we'll discuss parental love. The author considers parental love humanity's most sacred emotion. Parents' love comes naturally, almost instinctual. Beyond this innate affection lies the responsibility to nurture responsible individuals. How can parents educate effectively without losing love's essence? We'll examine three key questions through these narratives. First, how can parents offer friendship-style equality and respect? Children possess independent personalities, not objects for parental domination through scolding. A teacher in the book advises parents against corporal punishment at home. When Enrico slacks academically or acts rudely, his parents communicate patiently rather than rage. One privileged classmate's arrogance stems from wealth. After insulting a charcoal seller's son as beggar's child, the rich boy's father intervenes. Blushing with shame, the father confirms the incident and forces proper apology. I deeply regret disrespecting your father. This was inexcusable, the chastened boy declares. Please forgive me. Let my father shake your hand. After the apology, the father shook hands with the charcoal seller. The father handled this with wisdom, requiring accountability without public shaming. Now let's explore our second question. How do parents lead by example? Parents are children's primary role models. Children ultimately mirror their parents' behaviors. To nurture compassion, Enrico's mother takes him to aid the poor. When discovering the recipients are classmates, she discreetly facilitates a heartfelt reunion. One dismissal day, Enrico's mother refuses his hug request. She avoids triggering grief in a classmate who recently lost his mother. Enrico's father demonstrates equal compassion through subtle actions. Before a hunchbacked friend visits, he removes offensive wall art. The painting depicted another hunchbacked individual. When a stonemason's son leaves dust on furniture, Enrico gets stopped from cleaning it immediately. This subtle restraint teaches empathy, avoiding guest embarrassment. Third question. Handling children's mistakes. Parents must correct errors promptly. When Enrico slacks, his father explains learning's importance. Workers attend night schools after labor, even prisoners study. No one stops learning. When Enrico disrespects his father, the mother explains paternal sacrifices. All your father desires is your love in return. Mistakes are inevitable, but parental guidance prevents moral drifting. Small errors demand equal attention. Teacher's guidance isn't always planned lessons. Sometimes spontaneous moments create impact. When Enrico excitedly greeted first snow, his father reminded him of children lacking warm clothes or heating. Though dampening joy, this taught perspective, shifting. As crows feed aging parents and lambs kneel to nurse, natural reciprocity mirrors human gratitude. The book features remarkable, compassionate children. One classmate manages firewood business while caring for bedridden mother, all while studying. I'll handle everything, mother, he reassures. The mother responds gratefully. What would I do without you? Enrico admires this responsible child far surpassing himself. Modern children privileged yet unappreciative, pale in comparison. Another child perseveres through harsher adversity. Neglectful alcoholic father, constant hunger yet never complains. He maintains affection despite abuse, eventually earning academic medal. The inspector declares, "This honors both your intellect and filial devotion." To the father, "Your son's kindness and diligence promise greatness. Shouldn't this make you proud?" A transformative moment, father embraces son tearfully. Wait, isn't this condoning domestic abuse? The author argues love's power to redeem parental failures. Crucially, the story continues. The father stays sober thereafter. He credits his transformation entirely to his son. Parents too should appreciate such thoughtful children. We've discussed parental love. In Education of Love, it's selfless and forgiving. Parents act as mentors and friends, respecting while guiding children's growth. Children raised this way support parents and forgive their flaws. Now let's explore teacher-student relationships, deemed equally sacred. Teachers love students like their own children. On first day, Enrico's teacher declares, "You're my family, my pride and comfort." Yet teaching involves handling mischief and mundane challenges daily. Enrico's brother's teacher commands respect with mere finger gestures. Don't mistake early education for simplicity. From speech difficulties to lost shoes, constant classroom chaos. Beyond academics, dressing kids, first aid, preventing coat mix-ups. Still, parents constantly critique teaching methods. Teachers occasionally lose temper, then immediately console students. How should we perceive teachers' anger? Enrico's father explains, teachers deserve understanding after years of service. While some students appreciate teachers, many don't, making teaching often thankless. Even saints would grow frustrated in their position. Enter Uranti, the rebellious child hating studies and authority. He even set off firecrackers in class, making the teacher lament. 30 years teaching! Never encountered this! Students comforted their distressed mentor. Teacher-student bonds mirror parental relationships we discussed. Teachers nurture with patience, students reciprocate with respect. Now let's examine peer relationships. Classmates interact like siblings in this familial classroom setting. We'll analyze peer love through three key aspects. First, handling academic rivalry. The class's perpetual runner-up grows bitter towards the top student. Despite efforts, he resorts to mocking the unbeatable academic ace. When patriotic essay results dash his hopes again, the teacher warns, "Don't let jealousy snake poison your mind." Defiantly, the rival scrawls, "We don't envy," in huge letters. Ironically, the gracious winner defends his critic from mockery. The rival even retrieves the ace's dropped blotting paper. Complex dynamics. Enrico adopts healthier approach, using excellence as motivation. Reflecting on underprivileged classmates' diligence, he vows, "I'll study harder." By term's end, academic progress confirms his resolve. Enrico thanks both teacher and rival for pushing his growth. Second question, dealing with bullies. Every era has its troublemakers. Carlo's disability makes him target. Rulers poking, chestnuts thrown, cruel imitations. Durante suddenly jumped onto a chair, mimicking vegetable carrying, his family's trade. The teacher angrily rebuked the bullies. Tormenting the vulnerable is despicable. How shameful to bully the innocent weak, harassing defenseless individuals. Teachers must intervene when mob mentality emerges. Justice sometimes comes from classmates, like the gentle giant who spun a bully 3 times with one slap, ending harassment permanently. True troublemakers create chaos anywhere. Aranti ambushed siblings, yanking the girl's hair violently. The petite brother fearlessly fought back despite size disadvantage. Bloodied but unbowed, he refused to surrender during the beating. Onlookers praised his courage after driving Aranti away. True bravery means protecting loved ones against all odds. Some may dismiss children's fights as trivial, but this teaches modern parents to nurture moral courage in children. Third question, cross-class friendships. The author believes schools should erase social hierarchies. The arrogant rich kid even disgusted his father through snobbery. Other wealthy children behaved better. The father chastised. The teacher concluded, "All here are brothers. Why resist this?" Enrico's father explains, "You'll attend middle school, but some classmates must start working. Cutting ties with them means losing cross-class friendships, like reading only one book forever." Emphasizes befriending working-class children and respecting their parents. Class-based discrimination is vulgar behavior, the father asserts. Even as future parliament member, embrace your chauffeur classmate. Labor isn't dirty. Say, bearing labor's marks instead of dirty when seeing workers. Summarizing peer relationships. Healthy competition, anti-bullying, and class equality. Now exploring societal compassion beyond personal connections. A nation's education level shows through street behaviors, the father observes. Public misconduct reflects domestic dysfunction. Enrico ignores beggar with sick child, later receiving paternal rebuke. Never pretend not to see those in need, especially parents begging for children. Imagine your mother saying, "No food today," feel her heart break. Children's alms carry dignity, adults' charity lacks, the father notes. Cultivating social love requires both giving and gratitude. The mother teaches appreciation for firefighters, doctors, society's selfless guardians. Oh, kids, you're so loved. Remember those passed with grateful hearts. So, we've covered social compassion, helping the unfortunate brings spiritual fulfillment. Also, got to appreciate those who sacrifice for public welfare. Written in late 19th century Italy, the book's strong patriotism reflects its era. Stories of young war heroes feel distant today, though vigilance remains important. That sending kids to battlefields, that's not their duty nowadays. Children shouldn't bear that responsibility, period. We've explored love's forms through these stories: parental, educational, peer, and societal. The Italian title, Cuore, means heart, where love truly resides. That's our journey through education of love. Notes below. Till tomorrow.